the fall of Babylon predicted. Come down, and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldean, American Caucasians, for you will no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones, and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen, I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man, I will not spare anyone. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called, the Queen of Kingdoms. I was angry with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into your hand, you showed them no mercy, upon the old, aged, have you very heavily laid your yoke. And thou said, I shall be a queen forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither did you remember the eventual consequence of it. Therefore hear now this, you are given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children, but these two things shall come to you in a moment in one day, the loss of children, and widowhood, they shall come upon you in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For you have trusted in your wickedness, you have said, none sees me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and you have said in your heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon you, you will not know from whence it rise, and mischief shall fall upon you, you will not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon you suddenly, which you will not know. Stand now with your enchantments, and with the multitude of you sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up, and save thee from these things that shall come upon you. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants, from thy youth, they shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee.
Suleiman Brahim here. Mention of the covenant. Break of 7 seals. Both have a few little technical difficulties again. Technical difficulties. Again, it's Suleiman Rahim here. Mention of the covenant. Break of 7 seals. Brothers and sisters, I have a special presentation followed from yesterday. Try to be a little clearer. Calling my attention that my audio is not that clear, and not so much the equipment, brothers and sisters, me. Because I don't speak very well. I'm not saying I don't speak intelligently. I'm saying I don't speak very well. And that's probably a result of life of very little speaking. Been speaking more since I've been doing um, speaking angel my entire life. Everybody knew me as a quiet person and very little to say. Very little to say. So days without talking unless someone just had to. And because I'll be studying. The wife would tell you herself. The more time, probably one presentation talking, and I've, our lives ripping together. Maybe she likes that. So I don't have much practice talking. So again, say you don't use it, lose it. So I'm going to try to be a little more careful. But this is important information, brothers and sisters. I just talk my normal way, and like I said, it doesn't come that clearly. You know, they say that females, again, had used that, normally talk better than men because they talk a lot. Not putting them down, say, talk a lot. Plus, female, even though for our people with the spatial, they're more analytical on the spatial side than we are. And the speech side is the analytical side. The speech side is the analytical side of my brain. Don't come from the analytical side. So since I'm almost all spatial, well, I guess that goes without saying. Anyway, sister, I'm going to try to follow up what I did yesterday. It wasn't very good. Not the information. It wasn't the information that was a problem. Buffering and not clarity and bad audio. And I bought better equipment, but again, it's me. There's no equipment in the world that's going to make me sound like, an opera singer, so to speak. I'm going to try to be more careful with my words, brothers and sisters. Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying, aside from the technical difficulties. Now, I know what happened. Okay. For some reason, every time I try to open my presentation, they go and say, "What is the problem with it?" And whatever. See, again, I'm here. Video was supposed to play, didn't. But I was outlining this thing about General Wesley Clark, 20 years ago, more than that, actually. Farrakhan claimed that God told him this stuff, which is a lie. At any rate, he named these, because all of a sudden, before it was playing fine, all of a sudden now you're having problems with it. They don't want me to play it. They don't want me playing it. Because it's the truth about what they're doing. But he outlines that the bottom line is they want to take out Arabia. And these are the ones he outlined. Iraq. They want to take all these out. It's got Syria, got Iraq about in the 1990s, right? Year 2000, around that era time, right? Lebanon, been on life support. Libya, right? Comatose. Mine's on life support. Sudan is in what they call it when you're in a hospital in intensive care, whatever. And Iran was the last one because they had to take all the Arab countries out first. They take Iran, and Iran is the primary one. See? And Saudi Arabia never mentioned it. But that would be the final last one when everybody else was going, and there was no defense of it. Because they know if they went after House of Saud, right, there'd be a universal conflict with Muslims of every stripe. If you're going to go and try to take Mecca, not a Muslim on the planet would not be involved in that struggle. So that's why they want to take everybody out first. So they won't have it. They don't have to worry much about that anyway. Very end be Saudi Arabia. Move on, brothers and sisters. Now, I'm going to get to my main topic, brothers and sisters. And like I said, this is somewhat of a redux of yesterday. Hopefully, I'm speaking here. Hopefully, I'm getting better transmission to live. See, what you see right there is Arabia. Now, perhaps they want to call all United Arab Emirates. See, that land does not belong to them. As we put a name on it to kind of emphasize that it belongs to them. It does not belong to them. That's our land. Saudi Arabia, Arab Emirates, so forth. So, at any rate, and they were saying that Jordan is the king of Jordan is a descendant of Muhammad, which is a lie. He don't have any descendants. He didn't have any sons. He had daughters, which they would not be his descendants because they're not of his seed. That's no story. Anyway, this is the land, promised land, that false Israel claims belongs to them because they're claiming our identity. They're controlling our identity as well as our image. But they're claiming, remember, this was all set up to keep us from recognizing who we are. False Israel. In 1948, as a response to Elijah Muhammad's valid, legitimate claim that we, the true seed of Abraham, they set them up. Anyway, they're claiming that they are, but they set them up in America and Britain. Gog and Magog set them up in Palestine, which is inconsistent with what they claim. They're claiming they're the true seed of Abraham, and that their return, that's the case, their return will be to Arabia. It says it clearly in the scripture, it gives a description of the boundaries. Those boundaries point to Arabia. They know they have to eventually take Arabia, secure their claim. In addition to the fact, right, they want, if they get, they're preparing for the eventual attack by the Christians, who has been a mortal enemy for 2,000 years, only to desist in the last 70-some years, only because they needed them to keep us deceived, keep us from realizing our identity, and to keep us from controlling our own image. Just think about it. What gives them the right to cast us? And they own Hollywood, right? To cast us as they see fit. This is the way black folks act. This is where they look. This is where black women are. Do you ever think about that? What gives them the right to do that? Because they control your image. That's not our image. That's the image they're controlling. A lot of us are foolish enough to adopt that image. Let me move on, brothers and sisters, or I'll be here several hours. This is what their goal is. And there's a time frame here. There's a window of opportunity. The window of opportunity is the fact that Christians need them right now to deceive us. That's their window of opportunity to gain power so that once we're gone, since the Christians take us out, which is their ultimate plan, which they're planning as we speak, then they'll turn back against them again, finish off the final solution. And so they want to be prepared for that. They're prepared for that, right? nuclear power in control of the source of this reality, oil. Then they had an upper hand. Because they know that war is coming. See, that's their goal. And they're pretty close to come to achieving it. Okay? But see, the consequence of the times is very complicated, brothers and sisters. Complicated to you because you don't understand. Because this is what's happening right now is consequence when GPS is searching out its targets. You see, because everybody hands are bloody and dirty with our blood. You understand? Without terror, oppression. All the nations. Okay? So, of course, Israel is going to suffer the consequences of what they've been doing. But Arabia is also suffering consequences of what they did because they betrayed us. They have brothers. See? Let me see something here, but honestly, I think I did something wrong here. A minute. I had the wrong glasses on. Click it here. So, if you understand history, then you understand what's happening. Because consequence cannot be delayed, but it cannot be stopped. And it aren't delayed. And its delay is not forever. But there's a consequence, the delay in consequence. It's very expensive to delay consequence. Like paying interest on a debt. Very expensive to delay consequence. The devils have been delaying consequence. Actually, we've delayed it for them. But they've been delaying consequence for the last 20 years. Pressing us. Afflicting us. Right? Because this is, I know you don't understand this, brothers and sisters. We're the personification of consequence. We're the consequence. What they've done to us. And the affliction of us is what they were using to delay the consequence. The affliction of us, I know it's very complicated. We'll leave that one there. You're going to understand these things one day. Got it now. In short, another way of looking at that, brothers and sisters, is punch somebody in the face. Okay? Now, they don't react. Right? Okay? But in other words, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. So they take a tooth right? You understand? You took one of their teeth, so they can take one of yours. So they don't take it right there. That's delayed consequence. See? But the delayed consequence, I mean, they have to restrain themselves. They take energy to do that. Now, the point is, who's responsible for the restraining that consequence? If you're responsible for the restraint, that means you pay like interest on the delay. The delay is you pay interest. I'm gonna leave that there, boss. We're gonna talk about that another time. But before I go on further with that, bro, let me explain something. You know, mathematics. When you go to school, say you learning addition subtraction, right? The teacher teach you the principles of addition and subtraction. They don't give you a list. Very possible. Problem. Addition, subtraction, problem. They don't give you a list of that. They teach you the principle. Because the teacher's not going to be with you all the rest of your life. When you go to Walmart, when you go to Target, whatever, and you say, okay, and you had to make a transaction and you're going to change, or you had to, not going to be with you, explain it to you, or how to balance your checkbook. They tell you the principle. Once you understand the principle, then now you can apply this principle all through your life. Same thing with the angel. The angel, I give you the principle. But if you don't learn the principle, then you, like a pushmobile, right? You have to keep coming back and say, hey, how do I just went to a Walmart and they said it was $25, and and I gave them $100 bill. How much change did I get back? See, you got to keep doing that because you can't calculate yourself because you never understood the principle. Once you understand the principle, then you can apply it. See, because when I first encountered the angel, I didn't know the things I know now. I knew the mathematics behind pressure. I knew that. But the details and things and who's what's and when and time frames, I didn't know those. I didn't know there was a key. I had no idea. But the angel, all I knew was a puzzle that I was going to try to figure out. All I knew. Didn't have any direct connection to me. Ain't think it had any direct connection to me. I just want to know what it says. Curious. I like solving puzzles. Right? Just gave an explanation of how I came upon that. And I initially got it. And for almost a year, I had a lot of problems. Because I was using the King James Version. And that's bad because it's talking about the pale horse is pale, as green, is really greenish yellow. That's important. And I was getting nowhere. I was getting stuff mixed up. It didn't add up. I was making conclusions, but it didn't add up. It made sense in this chapter, but it didn't make sense in another chapter. So I had no idea what I was doing. And then I ran across the transliteral. Then that helped. And then I discovered the key, right? And that was a big step. And then I've been studying ever since. But the key gave me the principle. Once I got the key, I had to study the key to understand the key. And now I understand the key. So now I can lock all the doors. And it has not been easy. Like I said, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Most demanding. Most dangerous, actually, too. I've come under a lot of pressure, a lot of opposition, resistance, everything. Loss of family, so, And, when the messenger said, he said, Master Muhammad said, he can put you in heaven overnight. He said, money, good homes, and friendships, all walk of life. And see, some of us ignorantly understood that as me right here. But that friendship all walk of life, that means he couldn't be here. It has to be after the devil's gone because they're part of the walk of life, and the lessons clearly tell you that you gotta be friends with them. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta be able to calculate. You gotta be able to understand the principle. But then you won't make mistakes like that. That's what Farrakhan says. See, he says, all walks like it means devils too. Okay, yeah, but the lessons tell you to get rid of them. So it couldn't have been talking about, yeah, it's talking about when you get to the hereafter. The devils are gone. Hereafter, they're gone. And I guarantee you, 99% of the people, if not 100% of people, just heard this. Had Farrakhan's understanding of it. Money, good homes, and friendships, and all walk of life. Right here. We told clearly we're going to get the hell out of here. Told clearly that the devils are devils. So why we want their friendship? Let's tell we shouldn't want their friendship. So it says friendship all walks are their walk of life. That means it's you that would happen to put you in heaven overnight. But he called this hell here. That means going home. And they could have took us home, but we was not ready. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. He could have took us home when he was here. Not ready. We couldn't go home like we were. But let's to Elijah. Could have went home. Didn't. Move on, brothers and sisters. Now I want to speak on this. But that day hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but the Father only. That means Master Muhammad is the only one knows. I'm going to talk about that in more detail in a few minutes. I made this very clear. I've always said this. Somebody said, well, you just said, I already laid the predicate out there. I don't know. So what I'm saying, unless I'm talking against myself, that means I'm just telling you my opinion. I already told you clearly many times, no one knows but Master Muhammad. If you understood Jonah, you understand the principle that's going on there. We're going to talk about that much more detail in a few minutes. Because it gets into, we'll just wait, I'll wait till I get there. I'm going to jump the gun here and in this case here, brothers and sisters, talking about Jonah. Jonah was pretty much what I was saying to you. But Jonah is the only, you can't call him a prophet, but it's actually referred to as a priest. And the Lord and King of Kings, and Master Muhammad is referred to as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Think about it. One is Lord and King of Kings, and the other is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Why is that? Well, people think that's the same thing, it just mixed up. No, it's just not two different things. One's called Lord and King of Kings, and one's called King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So you got this like dichotomy there. But you have a conflict between the two. There was a conflict between the two. Nature of the conflict, you might misunderstand. There was a conflict. Conflict was the part comes to the angel as far as timing concerned. We're going to address that in a minute. There was a conflict, but Jonah and Master Muhammad disagree. Strongly disagree. But Master Muhammad is the principal here. That's what it's telling us. Jonah was so displeased. He's prayed for death. He said, too much. Ended up spending 3 years on Demon Island because disagreement he and Master Muhammad had. agreement him and Master Muhammad had. With that more in detail, brother, Master and sisters. Jump the gun here. Now, pay close attention, brothers and sisters. See? It's something that you didn't know, didn't teach it. The Quran mentions it, but Elijah Muhammad never, but the way he spoke to it is very, he says, well, original man looked inside, saw the woman, and brought the woman out. Right? Because he got that from his understanding of the sealed Bible, because he taught the sealed Bible. Remember, he taught the sealed Bible and the Quran and the supreme wisdom, but that's what he taught. Did not teach Android, did not know it. Master Muhammad never taught it. No one else had ever taught it before. I mean, people attempted to teach it. But in there, you got Adam, then Eve comes out of Adam. And you don't ask yourself the question, well, what kind of anatomy did Adam have? If there was no Eve. Adam was supposed to reproduce itself. Right? Was he supposed to live forever? He was supposed to reproduce. And God, who could see in the future, didn't realize that Adam would need a female, a woman. See, you don't ask yourself these questions. If you ask these questions, all this stuff falls, this whole reality falls apart. But it's based on lies. So the thing is he talked about the event that brought about gender separation, but he didn't, or if he did, he didn't mention it. But that event is what about gender separation. The moon, when the moon came to existence. Big signs of that is the fact that a woman's reproductive cycle based on the moon. The periods. Sign right there. That process, because you say, well, before the moon came, what's up? Before the moon came, the woman was here already. What was her reproductive cycle like? It may change dramatically just because they had the moon up there. So that's a very important part of the reproductive cycle. That means she couldn't have had one before the moon, right? So see what I'm saying? It's a definite direct connection. And the other thing is the fact that men have breasts. What do we need breasts for? Totally useless. We don't need them. We have them. Those are two big signs right there. First of all, about the creation of the moon. Secondly, about the separation of the two, because the Quran does talk about that. It says, from one being came all. But it doesn't say the female came out of the male. Sealed Bible stuff. It does say she's inferior. That's no story. So what we do is we constantly, all life, biological life came out of us. And as part of creation, as the universe expands, we brought more life out of us because it's like a rubber band. You pull on it, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. The tighter it gets, the more dissatisfaction there is. And then if it breaks, then it relaxes again. So dissatisfaction is gone, but now you got two parts. And so then you start pulling again, you get dissatisfaction again, but it breaks, and then you got, 4 parts. So it's that kind of thing. I've talked about this in detail. In fact, I even wrote a book about it on Amazon. So as we take things, we separated the gender to male and female. I want to use that terminology. You say your evidence. You got breasts, and we got some female nature in us. When they got the beauty, we got the strength. And that one being was both. Now their beauty is they're more beautiful than that original being. And the men are stronger than the original being. Because he's got, take it. left hand and right hand, right? You have to stress your right hand, you have to stress left hand. If you somehow got rid of one hand, it's what they say, all that strength goes to the other hand, so now the hand's stronger than it was before, but you only got one of them. That's what happened. So at the end, when you get to extreme stress, extreme tension rather, the universe expands, the last part of creation is to separate, because everything crosses, everything impairs. So we separated the gender into two. So now we separate the mind, because not the mind, the brain, because the brain has two sides, analytical and a spatial. This is nothing made up. You can check it. Analytical, because some part of the brain serves analytical functions, and the other side, spatial functions. It's a known fact that the so-called original people are more spatially inclined, and the Caucasian people are more analytically inclined. This is known. This is stated fact. So at the valley end, the male and female, we have political God and a spatial God. Spatial God is called the high priest, Melchizedek. Political God, there's no name, but I'm just using Master Muhammad, and I'm going to name this right now. We have the two. So we have one, see, he looks Caucasian. But he's very highly technical. He's more technical than the God was before they were split. He's more technical. Brilliant. It's brilliant. Technically. Whereas Suleiman is brilliant spatially. And that's why you have the two big signs. But you got a technical marvel out there. They call them mother planes, a technical marvel that's way beyond anything they can even have comprehended at all. And you got the spatial sign, angel, what nobody could do, not even a God. Couldn't touch it. So now you got the godhood, the apex of godhood, because we're all gods. And the two. Like you had the first one, male and female. Then you got the analytical one and the technical one. The analytical one and the spatial one. So let's take a little further. Now see, a circle represents spatial. Line represents analytical or linear. There's two ways of looking at a problem. The devils primarily look at things literally. That's why they don't see consequence, those type of things, because they see literally just going down, just go straight down. You don't look at consequence anything, you go straight down, forward. You don't look behind you. The circle, like you sit front behind, circle. You the whole picture. The line, just all you see was in front of you. That kind of thinking produces murder and all that other kind of stuff. You just said match for Muhammad. Let me get to that in a minute. Okay, let me get to it now. When the analytical, when the gender was separated, right? Then you had some people that they were like male, if you so to speak, right? They but had a little bit of female. Maybe there's 89% male and 10% female. And the female was like 9% female, 10% male. So they'd be able to communicate with each other. You understand? Maybe it was 80-20. I don't know. That kind of matter. But so they communicate with each other. But then you had some females that was 100% female. Some males 100% male. They had to get rid of them because they couldn't communicate with each other. The males, how they do it, the females, because they couldn't communicate with them. Female had to do the males. So we eventually got rid of them. That same thing you have right now. Because in the separation, we got that the devils, the one we call the devils, all technical. So they abuse and attack because they can't communicate with the spatial. They don't know how to. When you can't communicate with something, you dislike it. You don't trust it. They change it. They try to change it to them so they can understand us. Good morning, all that stuff. That's all. Let's check you out because they don't understand us. Because they're totally technical. Then you got some preachers out there, a lot of them. I ain't talking about the ones that I told you. I'm talking about these, somebody storefront preaching. Everybody must be a preacher nowadays, right? The Mecca was these what do they call it? These big time ones, right? They're agents. They're government agents. I explained that. Maybe I'll talk about that a little. But anyway, so, and you got a lot of black folks talking that. They're all spatial, 100%. So they have no tentacle. They can't do anything with it. Or they'll talk like this. Oh man, I ain't worried about Jesus. Jesus take everything. See, because they're right about that to some extent. God just take care of it. See, but that produces nothing because there's no quality there. You got energy. You have to give energy form. They can't give energy form. So, hey, I ain't worried about it. God take care of it. I got faith, whatever. They give it no form. See, and the devils, on the other hand, they give everything form, but they have no faith in anything. I ain't worried about no. I'm gonna take care of it. I ain't worried about I ain't worried about no consequence. I ain't worried about no God. That's why I say there's no fear of God before their eyes. No fear of consequence. Two opposites, and both have to be gotten rid of. We talk about Master Muhammad, the priest. Master Muhammad. I remember his father's original, so he has enough spatial to control, because spatial is also controlling discipline. There's enough spatial because and him the spatial. The discipline is technical, and the Suleiman has enough technical, analytical. Right? Keep the spatial in balance. But when we say being it is, be as spatial is the technical side. Say be I got an idea about a car. And somebody take the idea and make it is. They bring it into existence. I say he says being it is. There's two sides to it. And at one time in one being, it was being it is. And one being was being it is. But now you got one says being what is. Now why am I saying this? Because that's where the conflict came in at, brother and sister. But you see Master Muhammad, he's got the Quran, which Quran is an analytical book. Quran is an analytical book. Analytical book. I'll explain that. I'm going to explain a little more in a minute. But the angel is a spatial book. Now, I said a long time ago, and maybe you got, maybe you didn't, said Master Muhammad is personification. Quran. I'm going to that you won't understand. You probably might understand what I'm trying to say here. But he's not operating off the Quran. I mean, he has the Quran. He's a personification of it. But he goes beyond that because he came with supreme wisdom. He goes beyond that. And he gave us some of the supreme, we gave some, but we don't know how much of he had. Because he didn't get that from the angel. He got that from a scientist. Remember, he's Levite. He got that from a scientist. So he's operating off a scripture he got from them. His mind is from that perspective. His mind, right? He got a technical mind. So the information they gave them was to build that mind because he's able to build a ship, what you call a mother plane, so forth, so on. Demonstrate how powerful it is. Well, Suleiman, spatial mind, he got the angel. So he sees things from a spatial perspective. I'm seeing things from an analytical perspective. Now remember, they're not agreed that disagreement is like when the male and the female came into existence, it was conflict at first until they learned to understand each other, respect each other's pers- uh, um, um, perception of things, perspective. I'm not going to all the kind of detail about that process, but the thing is you got the angel, spatial, and you got the supreme wisdom, find some aspect of that. Mass Muhammad operating off of it. That was Elijah Muhammad operating. Remember, Elijah Muhammad still taught from the sealed Bible. You understand that, brothers and sisters? What does that mean? Now, look at what their jobs are. But remember, you got two beings sharing this now. You got a high priest and you got the God. Boy, they was in one being. But the high priest, his position is what? Is to give our people mind back and to unite them. That's what it says. And so they unite them. He builds it, he lays the foundation. That's that spatial part. The analytical part, right, is transportation, get us out of here. Get us back to our customs and no, we got our minds. We don't have our language, land, all that, right? That comes on the technical side. And rulership is administrative. Master be administrative. He be the administrator. That's the ruler. He does the he's the administrative part of it. But high priest is the spiritual or the spatial side of it. I'm making sense to you, brothers and sisters. But you need both. You need both. Because Suleiman has to do his job here. But he depends on the other side to do the rest. He gets back home, gets out of here. Okay? And the things that we need, to provide some food, that's technical again. While we're here. Gets home, transportation, was back there, right? Technical side of building infrastructure, that type of thing, so we need a place to get to live and that kind of stuff. That's all technical. We need both. He needs us and we need him. Because if he doesn't do his mass farming, if Suleiman doesn't do his job, there's nothing for mass farming to work with. And if I don't come with a blueprint, I can be all technical I want to, but I got somebody got to give me an idea. I could be the best engineer in the world, but somebody give me an idea of how to use what to do with that engineering skills. Well, here's a blueprint to do a car. Oh, and I put my engineering skills to bring that into existence. I got the idea from the spatial person. That's why it says Suleiman, Ancient Days, bring the kingdom together, and he gives it to Master Fruit. Well, someone like the Son of Man. Because he's not the Son of Man. The Son of Man says wool hair on skin, basically, neither Farrakhan nor Master. That scripture. You understand, brothers and sisters? So let's get to it. I got two main subjects I'm going to speak to. It's the other one. The other one is that, let me look at something. The angel has what would happen if you just deal with spatially. Because it started off in Genesis, we're being wiped out. In Genesis, right there, we're being wiped out. Because it says Eve, and when you understand it, key, that Eve had a serpent, Esau, so take us out. eat that tree. 'Cause you don't understand what they're talking about there. Once you understand the angel, you understand. Then they had a war. See? We know they had a war first. That's where it would be if the Father, Master Muhammad, didn't shorten those days, no soul be left alive. You understand what he's saying right now? So what he's telling you is, what's that telling you? That's telling you that if it's telling you he's shortening those days, what days? The days that the angel talks about. When you say shorten them, do you mean they're going to come early? Is that what it means? It definitely means change them. It says shorten those days. In other words, it won't be the time that the angel says. That's the bottom line. It won't be the time the angel says. But the Suleiman, he teaches the angel. So he has to say what remember, he's not bound by the angel, nor is Master Muhammad bound by whatever scripture he has. But that's not the way it works. But the wise person would, because your scripture is your mind. Right? And if you distort that, it like putting dirt in your eyes, sand in your eyes. Why would you want to do that? That's why it says only Master Muhammad would know, but the angel does give you a time frame. But it gives you time frame about an event. Because it said he don't know the day and hour. He didn't say he didn't know the year. He didn't say he didn't know the month. He said he didn't know the day and hour. In other words, the exact time he didn't know. But he did know the events, and he knew the basic time. The only Master Muhammad knew that. Exact time. But he could not bring those events together. That would determine what takes place. Because that's Suleiman's job. That's the angel brings all these events to play into play. Let's say he broke those seals. Then it gets down to time, right? The actual time, because he brings events together, but the actual timing is actually a technical side. That's the technical side. It's like you put a cake, you take all the grease, put the cake, gas spatial side, right? When you put in the oven, that's the analytical side. You understand? But you know, hey, I put it together now. And you put the other guy, he's put it in the oven, he got to sit there and make sure it come in there at the right time and pull out the right time or it burns up. You got all the ingredients in there, but the timer's got to be right. Otherwise, right, it's going to come out messed up. You understand the connection here, brother and sister? Because you got two perspectives here. You had a male and a female, you got two perspectives here. So Master Muhammad, he has perspective analytical, how he's going to do it. I don't control him, nor does he control me. And Daniel tells you that. The book of Daniel tells you that because there came a time when they tried to trick Master Muhammad into trying to control Daniel. And Daniel refused. I'm not going to bow to him. Right? And so they threw him in the lion's den. And who's most frustrated with that was Master Muhammad when he found out what happened. But he said he didn't have no problem with Daniel not submitting to him. In fact, he was right there in the lion's den mouth in the morning. Right? He got up early in the morning. He personally went there and said, Daniel, are you okay? Are you okay, Daniel? So you don't pay attention to these stories, brothers and sisters. That's why I said to be two, the Mahdi and Jesus. And Jesus is no name for Joshua. The Mahdi is Master Muhammad, not Son of Man. He's Iran's 12th Imam. You understand, brothers and sisters? So he's telling from an angel, because from an angel perspective, if Master Muhammad doesn't, in other words, analytical side doesn't intervene, then we'll be wiped out. But he's constantly, he restores in there on the spatial side, but things happen and negatively for us. We're still in the sealed Bible, of course. But it says he had intervened, his intervention, invention of the technical side, because we need both. And the technical side is responsible for timing. I'm trying to get you to understand these things, bro, if you can. And somebody says, let me back up here. I ain't trying to convince anybody. I mean, I had something with somebody the other day. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just telling you, I don't care if you believe it or not. That's your damn business. I don't care. You don't see me look for no followers. I ain't asking anybody for followers. I, in fact, only want any. But it's too much of a hassle. I'm just putting information out there. Either moves you or don't move you. You understand? So I'm not trying to convince you. You say, oh man, I ain't trying to talk about anything. I'm just telling you how it works. That you can accept or reject it. Accept or reject it. And it works. In that regard, let me speak of something else. You know, I tell people to understand vectors. Now, vectors are force. Interact with other forces. So no matter how small that force is, it's going to change other forces that much. So if it's real small force, it's still going to affect other forces. In a small, very small way, they're going to be affected. They're going to be affected. The forces work. So somebody said, hey man, why do you keep talking? You're talking like you're talking. You're like you're talking to millions of people and nobody listening to you. I said, you don't understand. That's not the way it works. Because this angel is pressure. And if you take a rock, throw it into the ocean, right? I don't care how small a rock is, it's going to affect the whole ocean. And you may not detect it. You see, oh, a little splash right there. But if you got equipment sensitive enough, you know, if you was on the other side of the planet, check it out, you would detect, right? If it'd be very tiny, but you recognize that it's a rocket fell into the ocean. That's why vectors work. Period. Take my word for it. Check out for you. So when you put out this information, it's affecting everybody. People closest to it, affecting everybody. Don't worry about that kind of stuff, because once you have the knowledge of pressure, you see things totally different. That's why the scientists or God, whoever you want to call it, right, only sends one person, like Elijah Muhammad, sent him in the belly of the beast by itself. But you don't need one. It's got powerful enough force, mental level, right? So when is this how strong the vector is? The vector is strong, it's going to have a strong effect on other vectors. They're small, and he has a strong effect. Elijah Muhammad had a very effect on America. They didn't want to admit it, but he was the one that caused the so-called civil rights movement. Because everybody was terrified of these devils, and they saw what Elijah Muhammad was doing, and he gave me, it grows here, but he gave them so test, right? Stand up. Remember Malcolm, Ali, and so forth, so on. Those people had a very powerful effect. Even Farrakhan, even his still he misdirected, but still no. His connection with Elijah Muhammad allowed him to do what he's able to do. You know, he's doing it in a negative way. Had a very powerful impact. A third grade educated man, right, who was pretty much, he was an alcoholic and everything else, and man, Master Muhammad. He didn't have the entry key. He didn't have the angel law, had any of that. I hope you understand that, brother and sister. I'm trying to how this works. So you got two sides, and they have to work together. Like the male and the female had to learn how to work together. They working together too well right now because of devils. He was separated, divided. They learn to work together. So every male has a little female in them. Every female has a little male, so they can communicate. Same thing with analytical and spatial. But we're the gods, with the ideas, we're the creators. You know, and the male and the female, the male maintained the creative side. That means he produces breast creative side. The female has the is side. You want to look at it that way, because she brings to existence. You create it, right? But she bake it. She had the same idea. The same thing here. So the ideas come from the Bahas. But Master Muhammad is his elect, his angel. And it's going to be space out be wiser than any gods before. Because remember, all that, the whole brain, I mean, the brain is still going to look like that. It's going to be almost all spatial. And for the spatial side, all that brain power now, we use spatial. Well, only half of it. Now, on the other side, all that technical, almost all technical. What was, you see what I'm saying? And we got some group that's still going to be in the middle there. You understand? So the technical side be so bright. The technical abilities that you're going to see in here after the brain, anything that ever experienced on this planet. Because now we have all that power in the technical side and space, that the ideas that's come up. Spatial. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. So there's initial disagreement between the two, because the angel's talking about on the spatial side, whereas Master Muhammad has is dealing from the technical side. With this one, I'm handling the technical side. I'm the guy handling the technical side. So hey, back off. I'm telling you, do it. You do your spatial side over there. Otherwise, technical side over here. So you bring the event. You create the event. You set the event up. Okay? And I'll be right on time for it. But if you notice, when you go to the angel, the time just gets up to the event, and then there's no time mentioned in there anymore. No time mentioned anymore. Why? Means we're not going to have any time anymore. Means we're not. Think about that for a minute. Time. That's what they said. But time no more. The time goes up to, right? A time unprecedented trouble goes up to there. It goes up. And it goes to a point where nobody knows but Master Muhammad. He goes, oh, just to there, right? Where we are right now. It doesn't go beyond that. There's no time that goes behind that. See? Except it says, if we get past that tribulation, there's no time past that. Why? They still got scriptures. They still give scripture and everything else. So why? There's no time beyond that, an angel. Because the time is Master Muhammad. He knows the timing beyond that. Okay, boss. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. He has the timing. Remember, he knows exactly when it's going to happen. He knows the timing beyond that. Because he's not an angel. It's not the angel. That time is not the angel. Not there. It says no time, no time is ended. It tells you that. Why? Master Farmer comes on the scene, he finally comes on the scene, right? Steps on the scene. Now time belongs to him. It's out of the hands of the angel. Angel just take you up to that time. The Master Farmer steps up. That's what angel takes you up to time. The Master Farmer shows up. Then it doesn't take any more time. Here. Angel. I mean, we don't lose time. No, we don't lose time because we have total control of time. But that's in an analytical mind, that point, not the spatial. Spatial is creative. I put the cake together, but the analytical person has to determine how long it stays in the oven. We're going to stay there, brothers and sisters. I'm going to move on. I can say a lot more, but now see here it talks about that then now no one knows, not the angel anyone, only Master Father Muhammad knows. I wasn't happy with that, right? Then, you know, we know here, brothers, we still got trouble with women, don't we? Deal with their perspective. Got to learn to incorporate. That's where it is now. Got to be quiet and listen to their perspective. I mean, just because they have perspective means right. They should make sure their perspective is grounded in facts. Otherwise, nobody will listen to them, not even other women. Anyway, where we are right now. So we know the event, because you look at out in the world, the event that Sulaiman telling you is exactly as it's supposed to be. Everything is in place. Everything. It's just the timing, exact time. Because the general time he got right. It's in the angel, general time is in the angel. General time is in the angel. It says the exact time, day and hour. Don't say year, month, day and hour. That's something that could be anything. It has to be soon. Because time is everything's there. And that's why, you know, I used to really, I still talked about that winter, day and winter, because it doesn't say what happened between Sabbath before the winter. It says pray that don't happen. We pray to Master Muhammad. Just get it. It's up to him. Pray that he'll do it before the winter. But if you got to pray, it means you don't know if you're going to do it or not. Tiny Bunches, you don't think these things true because you're still dead and you still got the devil's mind. Okay? And I can't be being much more specific now than ever been. Can't be too specific, Bunches, because again, remember the devil's listening too. It says if they knew the exact time, they would stop it. Why wouldn't they? But how could they stop it? A lot of things they could do. They say, hey man, these guys, they'll come together on January the 2nd, 2025. And we can't we do about it. Let's blow the damn world up. January the 1st. Nuclear war. Let's go attack them or kill them. I mean, all kinds of things they could do. Cause all kinds of havoc. Don't understand, brothers. Two more things here, brothers and sisters, and then close out. Word of heaven. Now, it's two stages. Omniscient installation, first stage, and second stage, Muhammad angels. Here, talk about this because this is my main subject here today. Subject yesterday, but trying to talk. We'll be talking clearly, and I forgot all about it. I hope I haven't slurred my words, brothers and sisters. The whole person was just trying to talk slowly, clearly. Just for doing it, brothers. Just remember that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So don't know what I've been doing the last 15 minutes. Anyway, scriptures tell you there'll be a greater light and a lesser light. And we know from the angel, if you understand the angel, what I taught you, if you're telling that there's day and night and just 1,000 years apart. And then the Quran and 50,000 years apart. From the time it was revealed 2,000 years ago, then it was revealed 1,000 years later. Is that a coincidence? There's a greater light rules the day and the lesser light, so it'll be two. It won't be the moon, but the moon reflects. The sun doesn't have its own, reflects it. And we also know that the Quran is associated with the moon. All that stuff is associated with the moon. So the Quran is the lesser light. It's reflective. That's the sun. And that's what it does. What was the sun? The sun was the Bible, the sealed Bible. And so this Quran's reflection of that. That's why it has the same attitude towards women and everything else. If you recall, when the devils first came over here, they was treating their women pretty much like the Sunnis treat the women now. They should they were fully dressed and all that stuff, hair covered. See? I mean, a woman, right, was treated almost identical where they was treating women over in the Middle East. Back. Okay? So, that situation. What happens when the sun goes out? As soon as land, they got the moon. That's when the sun goes out. Then the moon has no light. When you understand the angel and angel key, Arabs represents the holy people. Keep that in mind. Arabs represent the holy people. They also represent the moon, the angel. That about too, right there. The lesser light was the moon. They also called the moon there. Okay. Never mind. Now here's the Arabs. Now remember, they still pretty much back 1,500 years ago. They were no part of Adam. Remember, they resisted. I'm not going to represent European Gog and Magog. They'll be in control. Who's in control of the world right now? The Europeans. I mean, those things are easy to see. They say, oh, we're going to make a new ruling of Earth. Who's ruling Earth? It ain't us. Ain't the Arabs. I mean, it ain't the Arabs. It's the Europeans. And they said they wasn't going to submit. We said we would. We're the angels. We submit. They said they wasn't going to submit. That means they're against everything Europeans do. Technology, government, oxy, it's the whole 9 yards. The only people on earth that's totally against all of it. Only people, keep that in mind, the only people on earth is against all of it. Chinese, they're now a lot of it. Not the Iranians, they down with a lot of the technology, at least the technological side of it. And the Indians, they down with it. And the Africans, They died with, well, they resisted some shit too. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. You see what I'm saying? But they set government and a lot of other stuff, right? They're technological, you know. They're the only people that told me just all of it. They try to bring you back. These and all kind of stuff. The whole idea is to bring you back to problem how much time? 1,500 years back in the past. That the universe doesn't move on. This whole idea. They dress like what's back there. They're talking, if they still be riding, most of them still even ride camels. You understand? Keep that in mind. That's why I got the moon on here, right? So here's what it says right here. I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river. As you understand, Angel Key, you understand what that is. From the Arabs again. When he held his right hand, left hand unto heaven, and swore by him that liveth forever, shall be for a time, times and a half, and when he shall have accomplished the scattering of the power of the holy people. It means their power be broken. Their power be broken. Because they're the Jinn. And the Quran says their power be broken. Now, Syria, there are Arabs. Now, this talking about Daniel here. They talk about different Daniel point of view. I just talking about from the angel point of view. Angel point of view, I thought was clear enough. They're the fifth seal. And an angel, they're connected with the Shia. You know, the Arabs, they're connected with the Shia. And Daniel, right, is connected with the Arabs. The Arabs. But an angel, they connect with Shia. So I just talked that point of view. I mean, I mentioned a little bit, but early from that point of view. Okay. So, in the fifth seal, it says that Iran would be attacked first, and then Syria would be taken down, and Master Prophet Muhammad. Second phase of war in heaven. Second phase, part two. The first war broke out in heaven. That's mission destination. Then Michael's angels went to war against the dragon's angels. So he initiated. That's what we're waiting for right now. Wait for Iran to initiate it. Because Daniel talks about it again. He says they were pushed against it, and that's what they're doing. They pushed against Iran. Because now they took down Syria. And all those countries I'm talking about, those surrounding Iran, they're trying to isolate Iran so they can attack it. Trying to isolate it, and they now succeed in doing that. Because they got Iraq, they got Syria, they got Yemen, they got, so forth, so on. But this is Daniel's way of saying, addressing the fifth seal. But Daniel's saying, but he's talking about all the Arabs. This was just talking about Syrian Arabs. Daniel covers the whole thing. All the Arabs. When their power is broken. Syria's power is broken. But so is in Libya. So is Iraq. So is Lebanon. All the main ones they talked about. Sudan is on child support. On life support. You see what I'm saying? Keep that in mind. Excuse me, pause. Now here comes the soul of it. But in those days after tribulation, the sun will be dark and the moon will not give its light. And the sun is dark, and that's at the point of time. Right? This is at the point where the war is going on. Where the war is going on. It's not the Great Tribulation. It's, but in those days after tribulation, well, I'm here alone for now. It'll be dark. That's when Suman comes to the NOI. It's the ancient days when thrones are cast down, when Farrakhan is dispatched. Those are dispatched. On. Suman has control of the NOI. Ancient days just said. It means the sun become dark because in the eyes it's mentioned as being black. When they come together, the sun's dark, and the moon not give us light. And see, at that point, the angel, sealed Bible is gone. Sealed Bible is, but once that war started in false Israel, you could remember, false Israel is the cornerstone of the sealed Bible. But they're saying, well, they accused Abraham that we must be Ham and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But if they go down, this whole sealed Bible collapses. Because once you break the seal, see what I'm saying? But once the seal is broken in everybody's mind, remember, the sealed Bible is the people's minds. It's your mind too, unless you got the angel. Sealed Bible is a mind. That's mine. That mind is gone. That's the light. Your mind is also your light. But when the moon, that's gone. Remember, the moon just reflects. If the sun goes out, the moon comes dark. The sun stops, the moon comes dark. It's dark. There's no light. But see, this light is being taken out, but it's not. It's being replaced by another light. Because the angel light is brighter. That this is a great light. The people in darkness see the great light. Darkness again, right? That's in darkness. You see the great light that dispels. It's like the stars, right? They may be bright, but when the sun comes out, you don't see them anymore. That's too bright. Anyway, you can look that way, but the point is that's the story. So what happens now? You have the angel light, and in our eye, they accept it. What's telling you here is that soon you're not going to accept it. You're not going to reflect that light. Because they're going to be in total darkness. They're not going to reflect the light angel. And the light of the Bible is gone. That's what it's telling you. They will not accept it. Because that's why I said the dragon, remember, the dragon's angels, they're going to attack us. Because they're going to resist. It's not going to reflect the light. It's not going to accept it. Hey, man, we ain't accepting that angel stuff. That's the ones over here. But it has to be guys over here to attack us. We're still over here. Understand, brothers and sisters? What's talking about there? And sun to be turned to dark and the moon into blood. Those under your key understand what that blood means there. Before the great noble day of the Lord come. Remember? It's right at that time. It's where the sixth seal goes. Then should I put thee out. Thus, then will I shall put thee out. I will cover the heaven and make stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud. Now, those you understand in your key, now understand that also goes for the greenish yellow horse, black horse, reddish fire red horse, the white horse. They're also clouds, white clouds, so forth. So clouds. That's what it says. So an angel and the sun come together. That's why it says you cover with a cloud. At the same time, but they're not going to accept it. They're going to go to war with us. But they still don't remember that Quran. That's it. That's it. We're going to end up fight with them over here, and then we're going to have to fight with them, taking our home back over there. Go back, take our land back. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. Sun shall be dark and is going forth, and moon shall not cause her light to shine. So she's not gonna reflect angel. I'm saying no. But she ain't gonna have any light anymore. The sealed Bible's gone. Miss Foster was out gone. Trying to get you to understand how to read this stuff, brothers. Immediately after tribulation, those days, the sun be dark and seen as dull tribulation. And the moon shall not give her light. And stars shall fall from heaven. Those four winds, right? And the powers of heaven will be shaken. It means Gog and Magog is kicked out. kicked out now. They're attacking us. Powers are shaking. They're the powers in the Middle East right now. I said in 6 years, a great shaking took place, right? So what it's telling you here is that as soon as they're going to hold on that Quran down to the last bitter end, and they don't understand that the light they had was really just reflection of the sealed Bible. But now they have that. They're in dark. They're in darkness. And they're going to be destroyed. And it came to pass as soon as he came nigh to the camp, to the calf and dancing, Moses' anger waxed hot and cast towels out of his hand. You understand? You keep all that wrong. Break them down beneath the mount. He took the calf which they had made, that's Sunnism, right? Burned in fire and ground to powder, destroyed it. It means at the time of the four wind blows, that's Elijah, he's the fourth wind. That's it, the Sunnism. And ground into powder. Made, I think of it because it was one that turned Sunnism under Farrakhan. Turned into Sunnism. Sunnism is gone. It's broken. This is the fate of Sunnism. That's our half brother. Now I don't think I have it here. Then you got Esau. Does he hate Esau? He says he's going to destroy Esau. What about Esau? Esau they're part of the Jinn too. There are two cells over there. Yeah, they're part of them. Totally spatial. Witch doctors and all that kind of stuff, right? You got some ambidextrous. They still think they should be the boss. They're the original people. They look down on us because we were slaves and everything else. So they're going to attack us in the end. Then they'll be destroyed. They're about Obama because he's Esau. God says, hate Esau. So Obama's Esau. He's not one of us. He's not from the tribe of Shabbat. He's Esau. And this is talking about he broke the seal, see? And the great earth, it should be shaking. This is King James Version shaking. And the shaking I just told you about? It's shaking. And some became black as sackcloth of hair. Whole moon became like blood. Understand? If you understand your key, you understand what blood means. It's the part where they use to get their light. Well, one you can say it's covered with blood, but that's not. And starts, well, anyway, so this is where we're actually taking place now. 6 years, which will be unleashed any second now. The great day of their wrath has come. Who's able to stand? Whose wrath? Typical, facial, God and high priest. There shall no mercy.
Silence over, Syria taken down. And I looked when he broke the sixth seal, and there was a great earthquake, and the sun became as black as sackcloth. Silence over, Syria taken down. And I looked when he broke the sixth seal, and there was a great earthquake, and the sun became as black as sackcloth made of hair, and the whole moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth, as a fig tree drops its unripe figs when shaken by a great wind. The sky was split apart like a scroll when it is rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. Then the kings of the earth and the eminent people, and the commanders and the wealthy and the strong, and every slave and free person hid themselves in the caves and among the rocks of the mountains, and they said to the mountains and the rocks, Fall on us and hide us from the sight of him who sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. 7 For the great day of their wrath has come, and who is able to stand?
Hey, brothers and sisters, I didn't realize my sound was off a minute ago. I was talking about Esau. Esau represents the Africans, my brothers. Esau and Jacob, we Jacob. Okay? Yeah, for stupid dad, my Jacob is Jacob, whatever. No, we're Jacob. God said he loved Jacob, but he hated Esau. Okay? So if Daniel was right, I mean, he loved the Jews because he said that's Jacob. He loved the devils and hate us. So anyway, I was saying it says in there Esau, he's totally eradicated. I told you that's the last war we're going to have. Esau, because they say it all belongs to them. So I was muted at that time. I didn't realize it, but move on.
15. For the day of the Lord is near for all the nations. Just as you have done, it will be done to you. Your dealings will return on your own head. For just as you drank on my holy mountain, all the nations will drink continually. They will drink to the last drop, and become as if they had never existed. But on Mount Zion there will be those who escape, and it will be holy. And the house of Jacob will possess their property. Then the house of Jacob will be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, but the house of Esau, Levites, will be like stubble. And they will set them on fire and consume them, so that there will be no survivor of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken. Then those of the Negev will possess the mountain of Esau, and those of the Shephelah the Philistine plain, also, they will possess the territory of Ephraim and the territory of Samaria, and Benjamin the territory of Gilead. And the exiles of this army of the sons of Israel, who are among the Canaanites as far as Zarephath, and the exiles of Jerusalem who are in Sepharad, will possess the cities of the Negev. The deliverers will ascend Mount Zion to judge the mountain of Esau, and the kingdom will be the Lord's.
You see here, brothers and sisters, this is at the point where Shia have been victorious. They make the Middle East, and they haven't attacked us yet. They ain't got that point yet. They just got kicked out. Well, usually forces under siege. They back control the Middle East. Same time that Suleiman has control of NOI. And at that time, he's preaching to all the world this gospel. He preached to all the world, and they will come. It's that point. And if you understand this, it's showing you that Shia, they bowed to the angel. They made the connection. Remember, they're analytical. They have to have enough, we have to be able to communicate each other. They accept it because they accept Master Muhammad. At this point in time, they're in connection with Master Muhammad. But it says, when this war breaks out, and it's going to break any day now, we know Master Muhammad will be with them. It says, they say, Michael and his Michael's angels said Michael and his angels. So he may be with them now, or they will meet up. He will be with them in battle. Michael and his angels. So that's the 12th man they've been hoping for. Maybe he's the one that's going to inspire them to go ahead and make their move. Because Iran told me they got secret weapons and things, whatever. He may be in communication now. Point is, that's what's happening, brothers and sisters. You understand? So, at that point, they accept Master Muhammad as their God, and they accept the angel as the high priest. What it says right there. Yeah. And that's the art, brothers and sisters. But you have to be in Lamb's Book of Life. Now, Master Muhammad's Book of Life was spatial, is comprehensive. And the technical is not. It is. But he has laid a blueprint for the kingdom. Ancient of Days laid a blueprint for the kingdom. That's Muhammad. Takes care of it, runs it. The elect, they were the Lamb. And you got Master Muhammad in the right. So they all connect with this. They all connect with each other now. They all connect with the angel. And the elect are connected with the analytical. It's like it's a marriage. That's why they call it the marriage of the Lamb. Notice why they call it the marriage supper of the Lamb? Because now you got the two sides being married together. They're going to spatial be married together. Work together now. The end it is. Stand, brothers and sisters. With the silence in heaven here. I'm going to go to this, brothers and sisters. You can read it, face through it, and then I'm going to close out. Hopefully I've been talking clearer than yesterday. Not getting much buffering here. This shows that the Genesis, JCPOA and all that. I talked about this in detail many months ago, a couple of years ago. Very detailed, but I said they would not go back to JCPOA, their time frame and everything. I said the angel gives you all the time. He gives you all the time from 1,000 years ago. Why would it tell you, like you had this advertisement on TV now talking about, would you like peace? And when you want peace in the world, be peaceful, everybody's getting along with each other. And Jesus promised you that. That's bullshit. That's going to be in the millennia. No, the millennia is past. They just can't bring themselves to submit that. Otherwise, it's outright lying. Because millennia past, that was read the Dark Age was considered to be 1,000 years long. During that time, the Nation of Islam, not the Nation of Islam, but my Prophet Muhammad resurrected Abraham's empire. He didn't create Islam. Mecca, Medina, the Kaaba, all that stuff was there already. He just resurrected it, like it says in chapter 20. That was a 1,000-year period. That was a 1,000-year reign of Islam under Prophet Muhammad. Muhammad's Islam, basically. And then after that, Gog and Magog out. That's America and Britain. They covered the whole world, a world they didn't even know about. Spread mission, shed blood for 500 years for a season. And then they would be destroyed. If you go, it says they'd be destroyed where? They advance on the holy city, and that's where they meet their destruction. Right there. Millennia is past. They say, oh, that's the future. Jesus will come and reign for 1,000 years. Seal Bible stuff. You better jettison that Seal Bible, brothers and sisters. Again, it's talking about the trumpeting. These are angels trumpeting, so you can be at your own leisure, brothers and sisters. Moving on. The four winds blow with the trumpets, the main four trumpets. And this is another structure of the angel which shows who Satan is. Satan's the one sitting on the throne, and he has control of all the nations. Right? It says he's a God of this world. But it says the Bible says they control all the nations. I could go into specifics on this, right? They control all the nations. And he had the book. They said he had the book, right? The angel, the Revelations. So if he wrote the book, how come he understand the book he wrote? Because there's no one in heavens or earth or on earth. I mean, he's included him because he was Satan that had the book. Devils had the book. They didn't understand it. And the Lamb took the book from them and broke the seals. Satan is the one sitting on the throne. That's why Jesus said Satan is God of this world. And then he has control of America, Russia, and EU. If you're going to look at these, America got control of us. Russia got control of the Orient ideologically with communism, because communism came out of Russia. And the person that created communism, Karl Marx, he was a Jew. So they came out of Russia, communism. They have ideological control over that part of the region because they're almost all communists. And you got who colonized Africa? The Europeans, EU. Who dominated the Middle East? UK. These are facts, bro. All under the guise and influence of Israel, which is still influencing them now. Talk about the Israel lobby is still influencing these countries now. It's still controlling them. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's it. I covered everything I wanted to cover. I wanted to go over some things I mentioned yesterday. So keep in mind, brothers and sisters, the world is exactly like the angel said it would be. Exactly like it said it would be. Just said, match from trigger. Angel time just takes you up to the event, and then after that, there's no time anymore. Why? Because you'll be on the master from Muhammad's authority. His authority comes from his source of scripture, not the angel. The angel does not take you into the hereafter. It gives you a vision of the hereafter, a certain name, but doesn't give you. I told you, we'll take it to the angel. We get home, gets settled. This time stops there. That's the master from Muhammad. He's the ruler now. What scripture he has, that's the one. But you need angel to get you need the angel mind to get home. You go to the gym, then you go in there and know how machines work, but you got to use them. Oh, I know how the engine works. They got a key. They got this. You got to, no gain, no pain, or no pain, no gain. Understand? So that's saying, oh man, I know this happened. I know God dragging all kind of stuff. Yeah, you may know that. Okay, I know how the gym machines work in the gym, but do not apply them? Because you know how they work. They're not going to put a muscle or anything on you. That's what I keep telling them. They go, oh man, no, because you have to apply them. You have to go in there and start studying. You have to use them. The pain. And you want to do it that way, you're going to be forced to do it during the tribulation. You'll be forced to do it. And if you don't do it, then you're just going to die. You understand? But the angel that, once you got your mind back, your vision back, reality of your home back, that's for Muhammad's in charge. Then time ends right there with the angel. Time ends. Then what? Now you're going to match for Muhammad's time. Guess what? See what happens, right? Because he goes into action. No one knows the time of day, but he goes into action. The time is his from then on. Because the angel time ends. It's in it now. It's one last thing it does talk about. It's about lest those who come to that 45th day or whatever. That means, you pass what's about to happen. I mean, not about to happen, but I'm not going to say about. Oh, he says no time no more. So who has the time? But you got to be given a new mind. And you just get you home, get your original self back, get your nature back, get your language back. Then get your customs back. It's got you back united. It got you going home. Question is, did you get your land back? Or maybe you didn't do that either, because you had to go and fight for it. That's guilty, because like I said, Master Muhammad, when he told Joshua, okay, here, got him back to the land. So, okay, now, so you take it. But under Master Muhammad's, whatever his scripture wisdom is at that point, because the angel stops there. Make all things new. No more particulars. All the particulars is giving you now is getting you ready, get you home, get your mind, everything back. You're ready to receive Master Muhammad. So who's able to stand? And then he takes you to a new world. He does the is, because who created this new world? Who wanted it? That's the angel. It's the angel world you're looking at right now. That's coming in. I mean, well, you see a conflict between the angel world and the Bible world. The angel world, you see it's coming in. You see the effects of it. This world is falling apart because the angel world is coming in. That's the new. He lays down foundation. Then he gets the Master Muhammad. Understand? I'm leaving it there, since I keep saying it over and over again. It says not going to make you understand by me reading it. Okay, bro, since I think I said everything I need to say here, let me check, make sure. At least. Okay, let's just see what's anything else. Yeah, I just say one last thing, brothers and sisters. It's a mental mind war. And I was listening to just Rick Wiles the other day. Like, is he paying attention? He read my mind. He said pretty much the same thing in a different way. It's a mind. I think he was maybe somebody else said it, or someone else said it. It wasn't him. He might have spoke. I don't know. Someone said it. It's a mind war. No, it was some sister said it. Yeah, it's a mind war. You understand? So therefore, that's where the power is. So therefore, this whole world is based on sealed Bible, based on sealed Bible. Sealed Bible is religion. That's the mindset. That's where you want to. That's where you want to control the information there. That information. That's why these so-called mega preachers and all that kind of stuff, right? The FBI agents and CIA agents, and then say they're not preachers. Yeah, he did mention something like that. You understand? Because that's why sealed Bible is part of that. I mean, the false Israel is part of that. To keep our minds, the sealed Bible. But remember, the thing was, they're afraid that we might come together, make war against them, and lead the land. Understand that. I mean, listen, those guys are not preachers. They're preaching the sealed Bible, but they're not. They're agents. They're media people. You might call it media. They're government people. You keep your mind on that level. Make sure you keep their mind on that level. You keep that sealed Bible mind. All those guys, Hagen, those guys, they're agents. You say the media, this is more powerful than media. Because remember, I can say it enough, brothers and sisters, this whole reality is based on the sealed Bible. So therefore, that's the information that's fed into your brain. Therefore, that's the information you want to control. So the people that's doing that, those are people, that's why they're pushing false Israel and everything else. Those people are agents. But they don't tell you that. They're not freelance. The ones in these storefront church and all that kind of stuff, they may be. Those big guys, they're Negro butts too. They're FBI, they're government agents. Understand that, brothers and sisters? That's where you want to control information at. That's where I'm fighting them at. Remember, where's my battle at? My battle is using the scripture. The sealed Bible. I'm taking the unsealed Bible and fighting against the sealed Bible. That means my opposers, right? They're going to be representing the sealed Bible. That's what I'm fighting against. I ain't talking about the demons. So that means they're government agents. They're not just people out there talking about they preaching the gospel. Because remember, it's the information. I'm going to go across. It's the information. Your brain needs information, like your body needs food, like your eyes need sunlight, as your ears need sound. Your brain needs information. They control what information you want to control, the information that governs this whole reality, which is the sealed Bible. So that's what they're there to control it. They already preach it. No, they ain't. They may be preaching, but they may be preaching, but they're government agents. Remember, they got to Farrakhan. They said they gave a blueprint what they want Farrakhan to do. Farrakhan gave them all of it. He's one too. You understand, brothers and sisters? Pulling that necklace over there so you can see who they really are. You understand, brothers? I'm leaving there. Assalamu alaikum. Future's here, brothers and sisters. Wait for match, I'm going to pull that trigger. I'm going to pull that trigger, brothers and sisters.